I spent a lot of time by myself, yet I never felt lonely. I'm not sure if you're holding hands with the stars or the angels, but your feet are anchored into the earth and into this energy force that ascends through your feet and up your brain. I used to say, Joplin, when I saw that Joplin used to drink this. Joplin has passed away. Individuals have the power to preserve the world by their beliefs, actions, and sense of what is significant. Who I sleep with is not the most important thing for God to worry about. The 1980s were an incredibly bold and inventive decade. Even dancing, which has an answer and response format, is derived from blues. I have too much going on. I'd failed miserably at everything else already. I frequently assume a different identity when I perform live in order to add a particular feeling or intention to a song. My ancestors were strong Sicilian women, and they have the perseverance to get things done and move on. However, I enjoy being independent. I absolutely disagreed with Dick Clark when he declared that pop music, which is what I perform, is a throwaway art form. Dick Clark was a really big impact in my career. He supported me a lot with his entire organization, and they were awesome to me at all different moments. The Atlantic Ocean is not in the way. Even as a lyricist, I've always believed that speech rhythm is a language unto itself. I sung all the time. I now know that you should influence others if you have the ability to. You could starve to death if you take things too seriously. I could care less. Sharon Osbourne is incredibly intelligent and entertaining. The manager would advise, drink this. When I started to get hoarse, I can be whoever I want to be. If I didn't like a song, I wouldn't record it. I am the best. All I can do is gaze at myself. Growing up, my mother said I was a little strange. I had a pretty full life before I got famous, so I had a lot of options. It was the most tranquil moment. The strongest is me. You wouldn't recognize me if I didn't wear makeup. Yes, everything revolves around a circle, but accepting that you're getting older can be difficult. I studied rock, which is derived from blues. I would like a Tony. I already have an Emmy and a Grammy. It's transcendental. Then everyone else wouldn't look half as horrible, would they? You may differ somewhat from me, but you still have one head. I don't feel like myself when I sing, so you just stand back and see past the wall. It is beyond the bridge over 59th Street. When I talk, you can laugh. When I sing, not so much. You can be there if you can visualize yourself there. Making the record I'd always needed to make was my goal. You are not saved by fame. That's all. It's just the incorrect queens. It's a lengthy journey, and when you do arrive, you discover that you are still subject to directives from higher authorities. Collaborating with animals, the arts never make much money. I have no right to criticize the actions of others. Everything has an age bias. I thus continue to practice and study constantly. I won't be concerned with what other people think of me. I vehemently object to sharing my age. My mind is blank sometimes, like I am right now in my life. Men don't seem to develop brains until they are 26 or even 30 years old. Recognize the direction you wish to go. When I was 11 years old, I wanted to be in a band with my sister. There are numerous ways to go where you're going if you can't go one route. I've always wanted to know what it would be like to have 3 heads when someone came down from space. It's the unnamed person who can produce by meandering around the streets and sensing what's going on there. The pulse of the populace. It's so profound, my head truly spins. In my community, if you witness the civil rights of your friends and family being violated, you speak out and take action to prevent it. I can produce more now that I'm famous. I utilize everything all the time, then visualize being there. Since I was 9 years old, I've been experimenting with my hair color. Girls grow up much faster. Singing is when I feel the most at ease. I write songs about happy moments. I enjoy reading about the history of makeup just as much as I do about fashion history. You get better the more you study and practice. There are differences between males and women. I respect individuals such as Vivienne Westwood, though I certainly find it very tough to decide what I want to work on. Is there really no other option? To be among those who have a gazillion things they wish to accomplish, but never get around to it. Where will you be at that point? I have a short torso, but my arms, legs, neck, feet, and hands are all quite lengthy and gangly, giving me the appearance of a duck. I think I'm amazing. I think I'm 10 feet tall. I could care less. I had to speak what I was never able to. What do you believe that to be a feminist is to despise men? I did receive a complaint from someone who claimed they couldn't hear me sing because of how loud my garments were. When I go out among the general public, I wear a wig to make myself look normal and not make people uncomfortable with day glow color in my hair. Never, ever do you make fun of another sister. God loves all flowers, even the wild ones that grow by the side of the road. And you have to always keep that in mind, regardless of what you are told. You don't have to be like everyone else. There is space for everyone in the world. Every accomplishment gives you greater creative freedom. I discovered that pop is derived from blues. I studied jazz, which is derived from blues. What matters is what you think, not what other people believe. I do speak Queen's English, you know. I work in a field where business comes in consistently. It's always useful. Recall that this was an ultra-conservative era. Therefore, such bold advances required courageous individuals. I began writing seriously at the age of 12, and I used writing and painting as my pacifiers throughout high school. My name is Samson. I simply found that enjoyable. I never felt competitive with Madonna. When I started to sing, I got lucky. In summary, anything that someone else tells me to do, I find difficult to do. I've always been motivated to go down my own route and not let an executive push me in a different direction, just because they believe I could succeed more commercially or for some other reason. I have had a lot of amazing experiences. I see a lot of visions when I sing. Am I an automobile or what? Humor is a fantastic tool for communicating ideas. I enjoy developing. My sense of business is lacking.